Does everybody remember this? After Gypsy Rose had her teeth and her nose and her hair all freshly done and went to the beach, and she had this to say.
This is your first time on the beach, you said, yeah?
This is my first time on the beach.
I'm sure most of you have seen this picture that proves that Gypsy Rose not only has been on a beach before, but that she's now lying to you about being on a beach before, which means she isn't gaslighting the entire world and society, her followers and everybody who watches her Lifetime show or reads her books or watches any interview she ever does, into believing that she's now living this life that she never had before. But we know that's just not true because there's photographic evidence. But do you remember when her and Christy, her stepmom, went to some kind of public pool, or they were at a hotel pool, whatever? Anyways, the point is this: learning how to swim. And she did an entire video talking about trying to learn how to swim. And Christy's like, you're doing the breaststroke, you're doing the doggy paddle. For somebody who's never swam before to be in there in the deep end, unassisted, and not have any idea of what you're doing, that's really odd. Because for somebody who's never swam, you're going to want to make sure that you're able to stand in the water with it being below your head, and that you have some kind of assistance while you're in there learning how to swim. Yet she seems to be doing just fine swimming. For somebody who never knew how to swim, never been in any kind of body of water, was never allowed to do it. According to a December 21st, 2003 story in the Times-Picayune, I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry if I really messed that up. Dee and Gypsy were guests at a Christmas feast sponsored by the organization, meaning Make-A-Wish. Gypsy, then 11, is quoted saying that the organization has already granted her wish, or wishes. She went to Walt Disney World and that she swam with dolphins at the Discovery Cove in Florida. This actually goes with an article. This is the text from that article. The article originally ran December 21st, 2003 in a newspaper. And in that newspaper, there's a picture of Gypsy at the Discovery Cove swimming with dolphins, unassisted, wearing a baseball cap. And I know it exists because I've seen it, and I know somebody has it, and I will eventually get a copy of it to show you all. But she indeed did swim with the dolphins. I have witnessed that article, the original article, myself. But that is not the first time that Make-A-Wish ran an article about Gypsy and Dee, and it's not the first time that Make-A-Wish granted her an entire trip to Walt Disney World and swimming with dolphins and stingrays. And it's also not the first time that she had ever went swimming or ever went to the beach. This is what I'm actually getting to right here, because you very clearly can see that this is a very deep end of a pool with the rope. Now, if Gypsy is, say, 6, 7, 8 years old, somewhere in there, and does not know how to swim, has never swam, has never been to the beach, even the most awful guardian or parent is not going to put you on a tiny ass little floaty and just push you out there and say, well, she'll learn one way or the other. She's either going to sink, float, or swim. No, I absolutely do not believe that anybody would do that to a kid who does not know how to swim. And she was so comfortable with it that she wasn't even in the pool with her taking the photo, and felt comfortable with that. Now, you have to have some kind of confidence in your child's ability to swim and their floaty for you to do this number right here. So that blows Gypsy's narrative right out of the water. And like what Nina says when she says this,
get lost in the sauce of what the goal really is. At the end of the day, the goal is really to get Nicholas Goshan justice. I don't want you guys to get on this post and say, oh, she said this in the documentary, she said that. We are not going to listen to someone that they unalived their mom.
Now, I really couldn't agree more. But you know what? When a major network like Lifetime and the book publishers and people like The View and ABC, NBC, CNN, all of them are giving Gypsy's interviews and book deals, and not 1, 2, 3 docuseries, reality shows, or prison confession shows, I would say somebody that has 9.8 million followers on their TikTok alone already has people listening to them. So when people like me for years have been poking holes in her story and her narrative, using her own words against her own words to prove and show and display to everybody else that this person is lying, that they are not being truthful. And why would you not be truthful about some little stuff like not being able to swim? Because she wants to sell you on that whole entire purpose of the book. My time to stand. It's my life now. I was a victim and now I'm finally gonna live my life. Live my best life. Okay, that's not true. She had a very beautiful and very good life with her mother. It may not have been exactly everything and how she wanted, but she had some really good times and she was spoiled and she got everything she wanted. So for somebody who already has such a large platform, multiple platforms, it's not about, we're not going to give her a platform. We're not going to listen to an unaliver. Guess what? People already are. And that is the whole entire point of poking holes in her narrative and showing people that if she lies about stuff like this, she'll lie about anything to anybody. And we already know that with the interrogation video and everything else, that she did nothing but lie, 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 lie. And if she's not lying and she's caught out, she's trying to negate, she's trying to project, she's trying to gaslight, and she's trying to say, look over here, he did that, he did it, he's this, he's that, or look over there, she did that, she did this. And there's nothing worse than somebody who's going to say, you know what, instead of proving that I'm the better person by making better choices and better actions and not lying anymore, I'm going to point the finger over here and tell you all the things about he or she and how they're the worst person. Because to me, there's nothing worse than a liar who doubles down or triples down on a lie and refuses to just admit the objective truth. Not their truth, not their perception, not their rewriting of history, but the truth as it actually occurred, as it actually happened. But somebody who doesn't change, because that just proves fundamentally that her 8.5 years that she spent in prison, as she says in her own words, was nothing but her preparing to get her parole and trying to get so she can get parole. It wasn't about reformation. It wasn't about rehabilitation. And we know the incarceration system is never about rehabilitation and reformation in any kind of capacity. It fundamentally just does not have the resources and the people to focus on rehabilitating and reforming people, to actually put them back out in society. But this shows, with Gypsy's own words, shows that she is not telling people the truth. Why is she not telling the truth? Well, I have two theories on that. One is because she's really PR trying to sell you this whole narrative that she had to unalive her mom because she had no other way to get out. And that she now is standing and living her best life because her mother didn't let her stand and didn't let her live life. Or she's lying these little lies because she's covering up for the fact that she really wasn't abused like she says. So, here you go. Gypsy Rose Blanchard knew how to swim. She did swim. And she did go to beaches, as you can see.